Look, I like Obama personally. The president is a nice man. He's very smart. He's articulate by anybody's measure. He's a winning personality. On the other hand, if you look at his budget and you look at his stimulus program, my gosh, he's putting America in a very, very difficult position, and it's going to be very difficult to get out of it. You know, he's going to run it up to where his spending is going to be 81% of GDP. And we're going to reach at a point where you know, there's so much spending that we won't be able to do all the things that need to be done. You know, if your family earns less than $250,000 a year, he says your taxes aren't going to be increased. But if you look at his $1 trillion plus cap and trade climate change legislation, it does exactly that. It passes on all those costs to the American consumers, and those taxes are estimated between $1.2 trillion and $1.9 trillion. Now, you know, you reach a point where you say, are we really going to go $5 trillion into debt because this man wants to do it?
I was talking with former mayor of New York City, Rudolph Giuliani, yesterday. He's a pretty smart guy, I think.
Yeah, he is.
And he made a pretty good point. He said, you know, we can't imagine getting out of this economic mess we're in by just throwing all this money at the problem. And his solution was that we should be cutting government spending, that we should be giving people tax breaks who might invest in the economy and create jobs rather than, and even Donald Trump, who I actually happen to think is pretty smart about, I know he is, about these kinds of things.
Oh, yeah.
That if you tax rich people, that's fine. If not, they can pay the taxes, and it's not going to change their lifestyle at all, but it's certainly going to discourage them from investing in the economy by hiring, you know, another limo driver, for example, or whatever, or
you're griping away, but you know, when you look at President Obama's budget, don't think of it as paying more taxes. Think of it as giving the government a nice tip for all the hard work it has done. I mean, my gosh, you know, the Democrat budget again promises to not raise taxes on 95% of Americans, but then it indirectly raises the cost of living by taxing gas, businesses, jobs. You know, if I had a dime for every time I heard that, well, I actually only receive a nickel because the government would take half. You know, I mean, just the way it is. You know, Republicans want to curb spending. They want to create jobs. They want to lower taxes. They want to control the debt. They want to protect taxpayers, and they want to protect workers' rights. If you look at what the Democrats want, they're spending too much. They're taxing too much. They're borrowing too much. This is what the president's program is. They're doubling the country's debt in 5 years, nearly tripling it in 10 years. The largest tax increase in history. That adds up to $3,000 per year in new energy tax to every American family. And, you know, one of the lousiest things they're really supporting is this Employee No Choice Act. They call it the Employee Free Choice Act. It would deny workers the right to choose their own future with secret ballots. They'd take away secret ballots, kill 600,000 jobs each year in the first year. And, of course, shift wages and workplace rules for workers through forced arbitration, government-mandated arbitration. I mean, I don't know how the American people can sit back and not realize that they're being taken to the cleaners.